Greetings. Today we present an exceptional opportunity for you to consider. We cordially invite you to embark on a profound journey, a transition towards spiritual enlightenment that could reshape your understanding of the world. In this video, you will hear a passage titled, Navigating Towards Choiceless Observation from the book, The Journey Begins Within by SAVI. Together, these teachings emphasize the importance of inner stillness, divine guidance, non-attachment, continuous learning, and embracing community and the unknown for spiritual growth and fulfillment. In this video, you will learn 1. Inner equilibrium and stillness. Achieving inner peace and equilibrium requires embracing stillness and detaching from the ego. 2. Divine guidance. Being open to divine guidance can lead to unexpected, meaningful connections and opportunities for personal growth. 3. Non-attachment. Detaching from material possessions and sharing openly with others fosters a more profound sense of connection and fulfillment. 4. Continuous learning. Spiritual growth constantly involves trials and lessons that test our understanding and commitment. 5. Choiceless observation. Embracing a state of choiceless observation allows us to navigate life's challenges with clarity and acceptance. 6. Community and sharing. True fulfillment comes from living in harmony with others, sharing resources, and creating supportive communities. 7. Embracing the unknown. Remaining open to the unknown and embracing life's surprises can lead to profound spiritual experiences and insights. I hope you enjoy it. See the video description for additional details.
Navigating Towards Choiceless Observation. In pursuit of inner equilibrium, the power of amicable stillness. I had just come home from my trip in early January of 2023 and had experienced the miraculous and most profound divine apparitions. I was destined to travel to Tamarindo, Costa Rica on a sort of eat, pray, love trip with the intent to continue my inner journey. I was supposed to meet a dear friend there to accompany me during those days, but she couldn't make it at the last minute and had to cancel the trip while she was already at the airport. I was very disappointed and almost considered returning to Miami, as I had no idea what I would do there by myself, not knowing anyone. While there, the energy and vibe differed from what I had anticipated. The laid-back feel of the surroundings allowed me to let my guard down and continue experiencing more downloads, as I was uncertain about what to expect next. During the few days I was there, the divine started to show me that I was not alone in my awakening journey, and that the universe was conspiring for me to reach the right people at the right place and time. I was at the Mother Earth Vegan Hotel on the first night, contemplating returning the following day, when the magic started as usual. I woke up with an intense feeling of peace. I looked at the clock, and it was 1:21 a.m., and the Spirit spoke, "You are not leaving here, as you have things to do here." I acknowledged the message and remained grateful for the guidance. With this new insight, I embraced the morning and set out to seize the day. Every day for the next 5 days, I randomly stumbled upon enlightened beings who opened up and passionately shared their journeys with me. This reaffirmed that I was not alone in this quest and, most importantly, that my perceived craziness was, in fact, a sign of returning to our essence. Again, concerning the anonymity of the encounters, I will change the names and the exchanges, but I want to drive the point that once we establish the link with the divine within, our lives take a turn for the better. It will not always be painless either. Many times it will be utterly painful as we detach from our egos and aspects of the old self, which are pretty lodged in our subconscious and tend to bring the most significant challenges, but also the most prominent lessons and opportunities for change on how we show up in the world later. As I was returning from having the best time ever meeting my new Venezuelan surfing instructor, a chama, with whom I connected immediately, gave her a beautiful soul. If you read my prior chapters, you will understand the irony that Spirit is bringing another Venezuelan to make up for what the previous one did in my life. Anyways, back to that timeline. I was entering the hotel when a gentleman, with whom we later became lovely friends, blocked my way and forcefully introduced himself as the hotel manager. For a minute, I thought something terrible had happened, or that I was, in fact, in some sort of trouble, although unbeknown to me. Within the third sentence coming out of his mouth, he probably realized by the look on my face that I was a bit taken back, and he stated, "No worries, everything is all right. I just want to invite you to a communal dinner tonight here at the hotel. We have an Argentine chef visiting and thought you would appreciate it." More magic as again, alone and with no plans, the universe started taking care of me. Little would I know what was in store for me. Dinner time came, and a long table with over a dozen participants was there. I sat in the middle and started socializing. Right before me was a couple from Canada I had never seen before. As we started talking, I quickly learned that we had a lot in common. We had all done ayahuasca ceremonies, and we were well on our way to experiencing a different relationship with the reality surrounding us. As the minutes turned into hours of a delightful dinner with excellent, unique culinary creations and enriching conversations, I couldn't help noticing a necklace the couple's wife sitting right across was wearing. I had never been so captured by a stone, let alone a tiger's eye mounted on what seemed to be an eagle. Yet I felt as if it was calling me. Little did I know the creator behind the pendant, its significance, and who had worn it before her. As the night went on, I chose to stop staring at the pendant before anyone would notice me. The following day, as I was going for breakfast by the hotel's pool, my new Canadian friends were sitting there and invited me to join them. What started at 10 in the morning finished at 2 in the afternoon, only because they needed to check out of the hotel and head to their respective jobs at a famous retreat center. I am detailing such a lengthy interaction because what was about to happen that day was truly magical. As we shared our journeys and encounters with hidden truth, the voice of spirit kept telling me, "Give her your bracelets and tell her I say so." I didn't want to. I had recently bought these beads and I loved them. But the presence was persistent, and I had to interrupt my friend in the middle of one of her stories to tell her point blank, "Spirit is asking me to gift you my 2 bead bracelets, so here you go. They are significant to me." She looked at me, her eyes watering, and said, "Stay here. Don't go anywhere." She ran upstairs to her room and back. To my surprise, she extended her hand to me, opened it, and there it was, the necklace from last night with the tiger's eye. She said, "Spirit has been telling me to give it to you, but it's also a precious gift from a dear friend. I've been looking at your bracelet beads all morning and told myself I wanted some like them." I told her this necklace had attracted my attention last night, and I couldn't take my eyes away from it. We proceeded with the exchange. We were both moved by the power that was unfolding before us. Somehow we were connected and guided, indicative of a divine intelligence that would lead us at every step if we surrendered, flowed, and remained open to our natural state. Looking back, I understand the message and lesson behind it all. Early Christians used to share their belongings. They lacked nothing in life. They lived in communes, and everyone worked to provide their share of labor for everyone's benefit. Our most cherished possessions mean nothing unless we can share them openly with one another, as nothing belongs to us long term. We are all passing pilgrims in this land, and yes, I advocate for private property rights, but that is not the point I'm driving here. We can only truly experience something when we share with those who reciprocate and openly share with us. Living alone in a 7-bedroom luxury estate only works well if you have loved ones to fill those empty rooms. Yet I bemusedly observe wealthy individuals who buy such mansions to live alone. What is the point? How bereft of self-worth must one be to amass an excessive amount of wealth and flaunt it through not one, but sometimes up to 4 or 6 such properties, which most of the time sit empty or are occupied solely by them. Perhaps the examples of my great-grandfather and grandfather who reached these heights influenced me. I recall their properties hosting numerous visitors. We were a large family. Such estates were the venues for fantastic get-togethers almost every weekend during my childhood summers. For the longest time, I have aspired to recreate such a place here in the U.S., so that my closest friends and visiting family could experience the same joys of my childhood. Unfortunately, circumstances have not yet permitted such events. Given the direction in which our society is heading, I feel more inclined to recreate this oasis somewhere else in the world, where higher moral values still prevail. Back to the necklace story. We were like two little children visited by their father with new gifts, giggling at the perfection of the event. She called her friend the artist who had created the necklace, and she had a fascinating life story and spiritual journey. Coincidentally, she happened to be in town only for that day, and we proceeded to arrange a face-to-face meeting with me that afternoon, as she was curious to get to know the story behind the man that her necklace chose as a new host. So there, in one short sweep by spirit, I made new, like-minded friends, and my social agenda was filled to the rim, creating new, lasting, meaningful relationships. The best things always come when we least expect them and remain open to the unknown. But the magic of these early days in communion with the Spirit was not nearly over. More people, circumstances, and coincidences occurred during the next few days. As I was prepared to conquer this new level of the simulation, I was provided with the proper game tools. The most profound exchanges happened the following day, also by the hotel pool as I was sunbathing. As I commune with the angel of the sun, as I like to call it, I receive a vast, profound exchange with Spirit via a presential download. I felt a pleasant ecstasy, as is customary when Spirit is present, and my awareness heightened to supernatural levels. In this surreal stillness, I heard, "You have reached these levels of enlightenment in prior lives. You failed then because your ego got in the way of your powers. This time, you must become a choiceless observer and sit still." Oh boy, was I in for a rude awakening of the totality of implications of this revelation in later parts of the game. See, there is a catch to this game. Imagine a game of soccer where you have two 45-minute periods. In the first half of the match, you're winning by a high margin. The game is in your favor and you say, "Piece of cake, I have this game made." Only to come out during the second half and discover that your adversaries not only had learned your every weakness over the first period, but now have taken steroids and are twice as strong and fast, kicking your rear end. Well, that is how this spiritual game works. Every time we reach a new level of awareness and communion, we are greeted with welcome gifts and laurels, and then, as in a perfect closed circle, the other half of the level, we are put into a test to see if we truly learned anything or not. It is a trial by fire to determine if we are ready for the next level in a never-ending cycle of expansion until we fully develop and are released by grace into our highest awareness, Christ's consciousness. In this state, we fully express our divine being in communion with divinity, like Jesus Christ, Buddha, Muhammad, etc. Now, there is no obligation to pass any level, and we are free to stay and call it quits at any point. But for some of us who had pre-existing soul agreements, we are called to the opportunity to keep going further along the path in one lifetime. And, as you can imagine, I have never turned down the chance of a great adventure. What the heck? I'm giving it a fair shot. The question is, why wouldn't you want to know what your maximum potential looks like? That is the dare I made to myself some time ago. I reasoned that our Heavenly Father has a master plan for my many lives, and that the only thing between reality and that outcome had to be me. So I decided to follow the instructional manual provided this time around. I am becoming a choiceless observer and sitting still.
If the content moves you, we invite you to embark on your journey by purchasing a copy of the book at Amazon, Kindle, or iBook today. Thank you for joining us. Until next time, keep exploring. The journey begins within. Click like and subscribe for additional details. See the video description.